I am a feminist. Some of you just rolled your eyes. Not this talk again. The wage gap, rape culture, gender roles. You've heard it all before. Having grown up on the internet, we're very familiar with the multitude of injustices around the world and in our neighborhoods right now. We know where we stand on these issues, but not many of us put our thoughts into meaningful action. We read the news article, we grumble, we move on. My name is Jisoo Yoon, and I want you to take a stand. Speaking up about a social issue is, quite simply, not cool. And people are hesitant to call themselves activists of any kind because of the social stigma it brings. Feminists, like myself, are silenced by labels like feminazi and social justice warrior. Advocates for racial equality are told to stop playing the race card. Most of the stigma are the result of misplaced frustration from an audience grown tired of constant nagging by a few radical individuals. Activists are ridiculed and literally made into a meme by those who find humor in people that have something worth protecting, worth resolving, worth fighting for. No one likes to be made fun of, but it's a risk worth taking. When you speak out against an injustice, you're doing your rightful duty as a citizen of the world, a world in which brilliant minds are denied citizenship in a safe country away from the war back home, a world in which a predator's athletic potential overweighs a young one's right to feel safe in her own body, a world in which good men and good women are physically attacked by the police due to the false notion that pigmented skin is synonymous with danger. This is a world with room for improvement. All that's needed to change it for the better is a single voice, your voice. The question is, what do you do with it? Pick your platform wisely. I'm here on stage in front of you because I want to be heard when I talk about justice and equality and the power of unity, because those are the things that inspire me. What inspires you? In order to direct your passions in the right channel, do your research. Social media, though it's often regarded as an arena for uneducated, angry children, is the most popular vehicle for social activism in this digital age. The use of hashtags, for example, has been shown to be massively effective in building support for a cause. Each of us can name a few that we've seen online. Black Lives Matter, Bring Back Our Girls, Yes, All Women. An article from the Journal of Media and Communication points out that establishing a single hashtag for a movement helps build unity and allows for a collection of ideas from a wide range of people. Furthermore, hashtags that contain strong emotive language can help spur an imperative need to take immediate action. However, these hashtags and Tumblr posts only achieve real change when they're complemented by real-life movement. Black Lives Matter only works because it exists out on the streets in the form of demonstrations as well as online as a hashtag. On the other hand, Bring Back Our Girls, a reaction to the mass kidnapping of 276 schoolgirls in the Nigerian town of Chibok, has achieved little tangible change despite being shared online over 1 million times because the movement is nowhere to be seen offline. In your own activism, don't neglect the old school foundations of making a change, which include art, peaceful protests, theater, and speeches, like I'm doing now, instead of posting the script on Facebook. Number 2, tailor your ideas to your audience. A few years ago, I was trying to get my friends to sympathize with issues faced by women, constantly explaining over and over the importance of equal opportunity. And no one listened. I told this to my mom, and she said something that made me reevaluate what I was doing. She said, "Maybe what you're saying is correct, but you're explaining it in a way that would only make sense to you." You guys don't quote me on this, but sometimes our parents are right. Aligning the delivery of your ideas to the cultural and personal values of your audience can increase persuasiveness significantly. This is seen in a study published by 2 professors from the University of Essex and the University of Michigan, which found that European Americans were more persuaded by a message that was phrased in the context of the personal self, and Asian Americans were more persuaded when relational obligations were emphasized. Emma Watson's campaign for UN's He for She demonstrates this perfectly. She recognized that gender equality cannot be achieved solely by the efforts of women. In order to inspire men to join the cause, she made speeches addressing men, emphasizing the negative effects of sexism that pertain to men. For example, the limited opportunities for them to seek emotional support due to societal expectations. I saw the effects of He for She all around me. As Emma Watson's speech went viral, more of my male friends expressed interest in the subject and even identified as feminists. Your audience are people with likes and dislikes, each with their own agenda. The more people you persuade, the more people are willing to work with you to make a change. Finally, know that different groups of people experience injustice in different ways. Failure to do so could serve as a reason for those groups to reject your ideas. A classic example is what critics have coined white feminism. Where gender rights activists with the largest influence fail to acknowledge experiences of sexism unique to women of color, transgender women, queer women, women with disabilities, women of different faiths, and so on. White feminism is exemplified by a slogan on a shirt worn by actress Meryl Streep in a promotional photo shoot for the 2015 film Suffragettes, which documents the women's suffrage movement in early 20th century Britain. The slogan reads, "I'd rather be a rebel than a slave," quoted from a 1913 speech by women's rights activist Emmeline Pankhurst. To Emmeline Pankhurst and to Meryl Streep, the use of the word slave is merely a metaphor to emphasize the necessity of feminism. However, to women of African descent, who have very different experiences and thoughts surrounding slavery, the slogan is an insensitive reduction of the racial obstacles faced by women of color, only to be used as a rhetorical ploy in furthering the narrow agenda of white British feminists. Meryl Streep immediately received criticism and unintentionally placed herself at a disadvantage in her feminist activism. In order to avoid excluding demographics and losing supporters, do your research on how people of intersecting identities are affected by both the issue you wish to tackle and your actions to tackle the issue. So, this is you. After leaving this room today, you're going to pull out your phone and spot yet another enraging article. This time, don't stay silent for fear of ridicule and for fear that your voice isn't enough. Start talking. Start creating. Start. Thank you.